Reducing travel times, particularly for rail and bus users, could be a $60 billion global economic bonus each year. But what's the best way to do that? Well, one way, empower riders with the information they need to get where they're going more efficiently. And that's why a pair of Washington, D.C. entrepreneurs got the bright idea to make your mobility their business. In 2008 and 9, Matt Kaywood spent many grad school nights in a San Francisco lab researching AI and neuroscience. But getting home meant guesswork. Which of several buses might show up first? That type of information was not yet widely available.
When they first produced real-time live information, I realized that could, solve my problem. I'd never have to wait out in the fog again. But the problem was there wasn't a single place to get it all.
In his free time, Kaywood began developing a platform to get it all. Buses, rails, car services like Uber and Lyft, bikes and scooters too. In 2013, he was working in Washington, D.C. when he took a prototype to a mentoring group for entrepreneurs. And that's where he met Ryan Croft, a tour company owner whose travels had taken him to 50 countries and 100 cities.
They all have poor traffic. Information is king. If you give people information at the time that they need it, they can make an informed decision.
They began bootstrapping a business, Transit Screen.
If I press this, will it give me a location?
Along the way, the former U.S. president took notice at a startup incubator. And in 2015, Transit Screen went live, sharing information at first from San Francisco and the D.C. area.
We're driving them customers and we're giving them a better experience. In return, they don't charge us and we don't charge them.
Now Transit Screen digests more than 2,000 feeds from 60 cities around the world, 24 hours a day.
How often are these trains coming? Are there a lot of Ubers and bike shares and scooters nearby in the proximity of that building?
If it's coming in 4 minutes, maybe I walk straight there. If it's longer, maybe I'll decide that I want to stop and grab a coffee.
Who pays for their service?
Everybody seems to use them.
Real estate developers and leasing agents like Tristan Frey. Of course, because it's all about location, location, location. Transit Screen won't say exactly what they charge, only that it's usually a few $100s a month per screen, and they're in roughly 1,500 buildings across the country.
It is definitely a major selling point. As I'm taking people to look at the building, they're always like, oh wow, that's super, super useful.
Now there's also an app for that called City Motion, and this year a new revenue stream. Many big companies provide employee shuttle services, and some are paying to help their employees choose a route that's right for them.
It's an amenity for employees, but it's actually a necessity for companies.
We just kept hearing the story over and over again about the pain of turnover.
We're right on top of a metro station ourselves here. Why? Because we want to be close to our employees.
Lots of those big companies are multinationals. So Transit Screen, already on track to bring in between $4 and $8 million in sales in 2019, is planning to expand into 14 European cities beginning later this year. For Kaywood and Croft, time really is money.
It's a very scalable business and it's an endless ocean of companies out there, and we're just now sort of in the first inning or two of this long game.
And as transportation becomes more data-driven, Transit Screen is also working on the Open Mobility Data Initiative, aiming to get transit systems on the same page when it comes to data formats, so their information can get to the rest of us more smoothly.